welcome back to SJ Cartier Limited Combos. And today I'm going to focus on a little topic that I've been having, I've had with a few people, and I'm seeing it's a big talk around at the moment due to the Women's Euros. Men's football versus women's football. What is the most enjoyable to watch? What has the most quality? What is the differences? And why do people always say that the women's game is dreadful? And I say, I'm going to put a point across. I think a lot of the people that say that actually don't watch the women's game, for starters. I'd say that. So, yeah, congratulations to the Lionesses. I actually feel they're going to bring it home. I weren't sure who I wanted to face in the final, Spain or Germany, but I think I would have preferred Spain, to be extremely honest. I think their gameplay maybe suits our gameplay and would give us a better opportunity to win than the Germans' tough stealth breakdown. As you see, Spain couldn't break them down. It took them a while. They kept knocking on the door. So I think it would have been a lot difficult for us as well as we don't want Germany in penalties. So yeah, I think we got the best result. Let's just hope we continue to win. But on the topic of men's versus women's football now, I'm going to say this Euros has been so exciting, and I'd like to think a lot of the doubters have actually become women football fans after this. And I think originally, the first persona, even for me as a man myself, although I know from a kid, there was a good couple girls that I knew that were better at football than men. They were better at football than some of us men. Yeah, some of us, let's just say. But there was some good players out there as females. So for me, I haven't really judged women's football because I've known in my school there was some good females that could actually play football with us lads and keep up. But I feel like a lot of us are under the impression that their game is less quality than the men's. And I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to give the points of why the women's game is actually so exciting and so thrilling to watch, actually. And it's more thrilling to watch than some of the men's games of some of the top teams. And first, we're going to say the men's, there is more quality of players, in the men's game. I will say that. The leagues are bigger. There are a lot more clubs. Look at even the Euros. There's a lot more nations in the men's Euros compared to the women's Euros. So you're going to have there's obviously a lot more quality players to actually keep your eye on. So that makes for a lot of enjoyable games to watch. But when it comes to gameplay now, I will say in the men's game, the gameplays don't always work to an exciting game, because we have a lot of clubs that really just focus on defensive play, and their counter-attack to me is not even a counter-attack, it's just a break. And I will call it like England's game sometime as the men's football team. We see England and we're playing, if we're not behind, and even when we're behind, this is why we get frustrated with our national team. They will win the ball and our first thought of attack is not there. Our first thought is pass to the side, long ball. It's not straight direct balls like Spain. You see, they may pass it around, but every pass is aimed to go forward, not sideways. It's aimed to go forward, even if it's going sideways. And then whatever happens, they may come back, but their aim is, if we come back, is to pass the ball further than where we just passed the ball back from. Whereas for us as England men, and in a lot of the men's football, that attack is sustained to a point where they feel they don't have to go all out attack. They can work their play. They are professionals and they think this is the way of gameplay. And that's why we all used to, for me, I'm 37, so me growing up, we all loved the Brazilian team because their flair also came with the will to win and attack. The will to win and attack. That's why Man City were so good under Pep previously. And that's why Liverpool have been so good over the last few seasons, and we've been good over a few other scattered seasons, but it's because of the attack. It's because we aim to go forward without the aim of our Arsenal 1 counter-attack, 1-0s, 2-0s, hold the defence, score 1 goal. Use their opportunities. It was a good gameplay they had with Wenger. They used their opportunities when they could to attack. Proper English football. But then when we're watching the England's women now, we won't see that. And to be honest, when you're watching a lot of these Euro games, if you've watched with the teams, it's all out attack. Their first aim is to go forward. Their first aim is to play ball. And when we look at it and we consider their quality may not be on the level in quantity, but their quality is still there in their ball skills, we actually get to see good ball skills because they're using them to attack. Which is a reason why the women's game is so entertaining and why every game, bar the first game, I say the first game was all about nerves, I'd say. The first Switzerland game. But other than that, every game has been so exciting and thrilling. Even a 0-0, 1-1, 1-0, like yesterday with Spain-Germany. Because that Spain-Germany could have been Barcelona-Liverpool. And both teams have their gameplay of attack. But their actual gameplay was counteracting each other, and we was actually getting good shots and good. That's another thing I'd say with the women's game. When was the last time in the men's game did we see those long screamers? You know, those Stevie G screamers? How often do we see them? How often do we see a little Ronaldo flicking a boom from outside the box? How long ago did we see a Zidane screamer? How long ago do we see these long goals? Like, how many goals have been scored from outside of the box in this women's tournament is amazing. And some may say, you know what? We can agree, some of the women goalkeepers, obviously, if it was the goals are the same size, and some of the women are obviously going to be physically smaller than a male goalkeeper, because a lot of men's goalkeepers are a lot taller than a standard average male. And they can just touch goalposts and things like that. So when we understand they have a smaller frame, so the goal is a lot larger to them than it is to a male goalkeeper, we start to understand some of these saves that they do pull off. It's quite amazing. And the reason some of these stars can hit a screamer and still got to find that top corner, remember, they've still got to find the top corners or bottom corners or the goal and the back of the net. And they're hitting the target and it's a screamer. Where men's goalkeepers, if we're looking at a lot of these goals, I think some of the men would have saved some, but there's a lot of those goals that would have went in regardless of the keeper. And that's something we have to recognise in the women's game compared to the men's game, where it's all, yes, we like the Pep, we like the Spain play, but we do like a screamer. We do like to see someone take it on from 30, 35 yards and just have a go. You know what I mean? And when we think about that, and this is me watching women's game now, consistently, I'd say, for a couple of years now. A few years, more than a couple of years. We've been watching the internationals. But I've been watching a lot more of the Women's Champions League over the last few seasons. And I'm not going to lie, some of their games really impress me. Some of the gameplay impresses me. Another thing I love about the women's game, we've seen a bit more in this tournament, I can't lie. We've seen a bit more. Spain are a team that kind of prominent in it as well. They are prominent. But that line on the floor, in the women's game, we see them get clattered. Feel the pain. Get up and want to play on quick. Want to play on. When I went to the Liverpool parade and I was watching, I can't remember what game it was we was watching. I think it was a Champions League game, me and my uncle. And we was laughing and saying it's quite funny that the women don't roll around. And we was watching, and you know, for that whole game, we've seen a few women get taken out in that game, yeah. I think it was Arsenal-Barcelona final. I can't even remember what game it was. It may have been the Arsenal-Barcelona final. Either way, we was watching that final, and we laughed because the assistant staff, the medics, didn't come on the pitch. And when they came on the pitch, the one time they came on the pitch, the woman got up and she just carried on and just walked off with her. And I'm laughing and we're thinking, we're seeing the women get taken out here. The tough challenges, because we have to remember, when you play football and you know football, a tough challenge is a tough challenge regardless of how it looks on screen. So someone could stand on your stud and you don't even see it, and that pain, stand on your foot with a stud or a blade, and you're feeling that in your football boots. The shin pads they wear now are so tiny, I don't know how they protect their shins, but they're feeling that on their shins. Any attack on their shins and tackle, you're feeling it. Obviously, it's a physical game, so you're going to have physical contact. So people are feeling the pain that they're feeling, regardless of it's women tackling women or men tackling men. They're both feeling the same pain. But why is it that the women would get up and don't even care about what the medics have got to say, just want to get on and play? And the men were rolling around for 5 minutes, which means it was quite funny, because I said this as well, it's quite funny that when we think of a men's game, we probably lose about 15-20 minutes due to people lying on the bloody floor. And people taking ages to bloody do anything with the ball. We lose about 20 minutes of people just passing the ball around for no reason. Whereas in the women's game, those 20 minutes, 40 minutes, we're only losing about 10 minutes for a little pass around the back to go back forward. For a little challenge here, we're only losing a little 10 minutes here and there. So I'm kind of like upset with a lot of these football fans that say they are football fans, but then can't actually watch a game of football and understand the gameplay that we are watching in the football, and understand that, you know what, we understand there's some men. No, there's how many footballers not as good as Messi, so how can we compare a woman footballer to Messi? Because what men footballers would we compare to Messi? So understanding levels, understanding Bonmati, Putellas, Pina, Stanway, there's a load of players that can play. There's a load of players that can play. And when we watch them play, they're quite good on the ball. They know what to do with the ball. They do flicks, they've got pass and move, they've got long shots, they've got headers, they've got volleys, they know how to cross the ball, they know how to actually... I was watching the game yesterday, I know it, the England game, against Italy, and I was loving how every corner, it was a good play and thought plan of long ball over the whole corner, Lucy Bronze head it across the goal, let's hope to get someone else on it, second not on. And they've done that about 4 or 5 times in a row, and every time Lucy Bronze got the ball, that's a beautiful gameplay of corners. It's like you took your corner, you made your play, got it on the edge, it didn't convert, but we saw the actual gameplay, we saw something that they'd done on the training ground in gameplay. That's Willow, our cat, going for some treats. She likes to just go in the bag and take her treats out and run around with them in her mouth. But yeah. So, I like anyone that's watching this, drop your opinions. Which game do you enjoy the most, men's or women's, when you've actually watched a game? Please tell me, what game do you actually enjoy the most? I'd give it an even little thought plan. Watch the Women's Champions League final. Watch the Men's Champions League final. Have your thoughts on the gameplay. Have your thoughts on what skills and what entertainment you got from the game. Tell me what tactics you saw. Let's have some opinions on after we've watched both games, both men and women. Let's actually enjoy both games and see what's going on before we have an opinion, because like my last video, there's a lot of people with opinions about the women's game and they're doing it online with their fake profiles and they've never watched a women's game in their life. So drop your comments in, let me know. Have you ever watched a women's game? Do you enjoy them? Do you prefer women's over men's? Do you watch both? Can you actually be a football lover and enjoy both games? Can you? Because I'm a football lover and I enjoy both games. Because I enjoyed playing football and I understood the game of football when I was playing, and I understand it now while I'm watching. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little combo today with SJ Cartier Limited combos. And come on, you Lionesses. We've got this. No Spain. It's 3-1 England Lionesses. Done. I've said it enough. That's me done. 3-1. 3-1.